July 25th, 2011. The Big Cat Coalition is formed in D.C. Rose Church, a pro bono attorney for the Ian Somerhalder Foundation, contacted Big Cat Rescue asking what Ian could do to help Tony the tiger be saved from the truck stop in Grosse Tete, Louisiana. Ian Somerhalder is the star of The Vampire Diaries and from Louisiana, and had a Twitter following of 2.3 million fans at the time. We had been working to save Tony since 2009, and so had the Animal Legal Defense Fund. There wasn't anything more that could be done at that time, as these things drag out through years and years of appeals. So Howard Baskin and I suggested that if Ian really wanted to make a difference for big cats, that he help us stop cub petting. Rose couldn't believe that such abuse actually existed in this country and contacted her law professor, Diane Sullivan, to see what could be done. They thought that bringing together the big nonprofits who work on big cat issues together for a roundtable would be a good idea, and asked if I knew anyone. I gave her the contacts we had in the International Tiger Coalition, and she managed to get representatives from a number of them to come to a meeting on July 25th, 2011. The attendees were the Animal Legal Defense Fund, Stephen Otto, Howard Baskin and Carole Baskin from Big Cat Rescue, Adam Roberts and Tracy Coppola from Born Free, Patty Finch from the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, Debbie Leahy from the Humane Society of the United States, Jeff Flocken, Nathan Hirschler, and Gina Miller from the International Fund for Animal Welfare, Rose Church from the Ian Somerhalder Foundation, Dean Diane Sullivan from the Massachusetts School of Law, and she also filmed The Plight of Tigers, which is on our website. That's called, I should post that here, it's called Big Cat Coalition. The World Council for Animal Rights, the Wildcat Conservation Legal Aid Society, Lee Henry from the World Wildlife Fund, and together we represented more than 18 million supporters. I just went back and added this to my diary because it wasn't there, and this was such a turning point. I had documented this over at bigcatrescue.org, but I had never put it in my diary, and it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, this was this amazing group of people who all got together on July the 25th of 2011 because of this conversation that I had had with Rose Church, and that was actually dated April 4th of 2011. So there was a few months to pull this thing together, and then it became the beginning of what was our three-pronged approach to end the abuse of big cats. We decided to rescind the generic tiger loophole, to get USDA to actually enforce the Animal Welfare Act, and a federal bill that would ban the cub petting in private possession. So this is what came of all of our work later on, but this was the day that we sat around a table together. And I should probably go in and edit this to say what had happened here. So Jeff Flocken led the group, and these were the heads of, or close to the heads of some really huge groups. And so each person went around the table trying to figure out how we were going to end the big cat crisis in America. That was our collective goal. And what they, each person would say was what they thought was the biggest problem. And I was either the last or the next to the last person. And when they got to me, I said it was cub petting. And I think everybody thought I had two heads. But I said, that's where it all starts. It's the cub petting. And if we could just stop all of this breeding and discarding of these cats, then they won't be in circus acts. They won't be ending up in the trade for their parts. They won't be creating this smokescreen that's causing the death of tigers in the wild. They won't be contributing to all of these other things that everybody had as their main thing that they had been working on at their organizations. And so I think everybody, well, I know because we all agreed that everybody agreed that ending the cub petting was going to be part of this three-pronged approach, because it was a vital part to ending this trait. And so I was so thankful to be there with people who had so much more power and resources than I had with tiny little Big Cat Rescue. We were the only sanctuary at the table, and we were so tiny by comparison financially. But by creating this coalition with these amazing people, we managed to do some pretty amazing things.